Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, your boy Virtus here, and welcome back to my Unreal Engine 4 Blueprint tutorial series. In today's video, we are going to be introducing you to a game mode blueprint inside of Unreal Engine. So a game mode blueprint is a blueprint just like any other. However, it has also got the role of telling the engine what to do with your game. So the game mode is going to handle information when you first start it up, as which player you should control, the player controller, the heads up display, things like that. Everything is going to be linked to this game mode. Now by default you are going to be using one which comes with the template. However, if you want full control, you are going to need to create your own one of these blueprints and use that to store all of your information related to the game mode. So this game mode blueprint, for example, so let's say you have a game where you need to collect like pickups or coins or something, the data for that would be kept in the game mode. Anything related to the game mode or sort of how the game should play and is going to be something that goes on from one level to another should all be stored inside of there. So there's a lot to take in, so I'm going to try and keep this nice and slow, nice and steady, and break it down in a way that's nice and easy for everyone to understand. So what we're going to do is take a look at the first part of a game mode, which is where it just defines how the game mode should be run, choosing which blueprint classes within that it should be using. Now the best way to see this is to go to Edit and then Project Settings. And then with that open, if you go to the Maps and Mode panel, and then if you press this little button here within your default nodes, you can see all of the information that has been taken out of the third person game mode. Now this third person game mode is something which has come with the third person template. And what it's telling the engine to do is to use the code within that blueprint, but also to spawn all of these different blueprint classes when you use that. So you can see here, it is spawning the default pawn class, which is currently the third person character. It is also spawning the HUD class, which is just the normal HUD. Now there's currently no information on there, so that's nothing to worry about. The player controller, which is going to handle the inputs for the character and a whole bunch of other stuff. Now if you want complete control, you need to make your very own game mode and your own blueprint for this. And that's really simple, and once you have made your own one, you can start replacing all of this information here. So making a game mode is really simple. Now at the moment, the third person game mode, if we open the full blueprint editor, has absolutely nothing in it, and the one that we're going to create is going to be the same. What we're going to do is just right click, go to blueprint class, and then within this, what you can do is go to all classes and type in game mode. And then with this, if you select it, you have now got your own game mode within here. And you'll notice now it's now got the same icon as the third person game mode. Now I'm going to quickly right click on this, rename it, and give it the name tutorial mode. And now if we open this, and if we go on the right hand side in the details panel, now if you're not in the full blueprint editor already, just go ahead and click that, but on the right hand side we can choose our own player controller, our own pawn class, so it could be another character that we create, and all that good stuff. We can define all of that information within here, which is quite nice. Now we're going to be taking a look at changing some of this as we get deeper into the series later on, but for now all you need to know is that this information is now under full control by you. What you also have as part of this game mode is your event graph and your construction script. Your construction script is essentially any blueprints that you put in here are going to be fired off as soon as this game mode is constructed at the very start when you press play. And within your event graph, you can do whatever you like in here. You could use begin play to do similar stuff to the construction script, or you could use event tick in here to do stuff sort of every frame, and you can put any other normal sort of blueprint element into here. It's entirely up to you. What you also have access to, and is really important, is within your game mode you can store variables. And like I said earlier, if you're working with a game and let's say you got to pick up coins or something, the information for that would be stored inside this game mode because it's related to the game mode, and this game mode is really easy to access as well later on. So with any Blueprint actor, you can simply cast to the game mode and just get a reference to the amount of coins, for example, or any other information that you want to put in there. It is entirely up to you. Now what I'm going to do, just for the sake of showing you this, is I'm actually going to create a new variable with the name coin integer for now. And I'm going to set this to the type integer and compile this, and I'm going to show you in a little bit just how easy it is to access all of this information. So we've got this game mode, and by default it's actually not going to be used. So what we need to do is to go into our project settings again, go to maps and modes, and simply change it from third person game mode to the new tutorial mode that we have just created. And it's still going to have all the information from this tutorial mode that I showed you earlier on. If you change it within that blueprint, it is automatically going to be changed here. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is that if you go to your window and go to world settings, you can also change the game mode on a on a level by level basis. So if you wanted to, if you didn't want to use the project defaults, you could change it to something else. So for example, in this map, I might want to use the third person game mode. In another one, you might want to use the tutorial mode. It's entirely up to you. But if you go into your world settings, you can set this. If you leave it to none, it is just going to use the default information that you have put in there already. And that default information for us at the moment is just the sample character, and I can walk around and do all of the other normal stuff. Now let me show you just how easy it is to access information within that game mode. So what I'm going to do is open up my third person character real quick, and then I'm just going to right click and type in begin play. And any code that I put in here is going to happen straight away. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to access that coin integer value that I showed you earlier on. So all I've got to do for that is cast to, and then just type in the name of the game mode that you just created, which for me was tutorial mode. For the object wildcard, you simply drag it out and type in get game mode, because that is what it is, a game mode. And then as tutorial mode, what you can do now is simply get any variable within that. So for example, as tutorial mode, I could get coin integer. And if I wanted to, I could simply run a quick little print string to display that value on the screen. So let me show you this. I'm going to set the duration to 10 seconds, and then I'm just going to compile this, and that's going to do its bit. If I press play, you can see it's showing 0 in the top left hand corner, because that is what I've got the integer equal to within that game mode. If I open that game mode again, tutorial mode, click my coin integer and set this to 5, change it, compile and press play, you are going to see it's going to display this on my screen now. It says 5, which is exactly how I wanted it to be. So hopefully you guys are starting to see exactly how game modes and game mode blueprints are used within your game, and you can also see just how easy it is to store information in there and get access to it. But once again guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, stay awesome, keep creating. Your boy Virtus, signing out. This video was made possible by my supporters on Patreon. If you want more videos like this, check out my Patreon page using the link in the description. To stay up to date on new releases, make sure you follow us on social media.